According to the global money supply, the Bitcoin bottom should be in any time soon here. And yes, if we do have to believe the global money supply, we are in for a massive expansion phase in the upcoming 2 months ahead of ourselves right now here. So in today's update video, obviously, I'm going to give you guys a big update on the global money supply here, what is happening with the global liquidity, what are the likely continuations from off this point. I'm going to talk, of course, about the massive historical trap we are right now creating, and of course, I'm going to be doing a deep dive in towards the charts, what is currently happening with the spot Bitcoin ETF here, because we are seeing record outflows being measured right now here. So a lot to discuss on today's update video. I'm going to be talking deeply about Bitcoin, who is selling, what is exactly happening behind the charts, and of course, altcoins. What are we seeing right now here? Ethereum is still in this consolidation phase. So far, we have been consolidating for over 20 days right now here. But of course, we are still waiting for the major breakout. So a lot to discuss on today's update video. Don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes. That will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So first of all, Bitcoin has started to break down ever so slightly even more here, even though it is weekend. And of course, since it is right now weekend, we are once again creating a new CME futures gap, and this time around it's sitting around $104,000. So remember on yesterday's video, I said, yeah, I mean, we are creating the upward sloping support line, but I won't be surprised to see Bitcoin move down towards $102,000. Yeah, that is a little bit what played out right now here, because yeah, before we already broke below this very important box of support, and ever since we did so, we are right now basically in this lower side of the range here, and Bitcoin is probably going to come back towards the green line of support here. So let's see how that is going to be playing out here. So Bitcoin came down ever so slightly, but if we are right now looking, of course, at the global liquidity, we are seeing that Bitcoin is just once again exactly following the path of the global liquidity. I mean, remember when this, of course, also exactly called the bottom, and remember whenever we got the rally towards the upside, it exactly followed the global liquidity. Yeah, now we are seeing a slight little dump on the global liquidity, and yes, Bitcoin is exactly reflecting this here. So according to this data, we can be going a little bit lower, but the bottom is very close right now here. And if this is true, we are in for a massive new expansion phase in the upcoming period, and probably it's going to be starting in the second week of June here. So yeah, we could be in for some massive continuations towards the upside. So this is of course looking very great here. And of course, if you're looking at this chart, you can see that clearly in the upcoming 2 months, we are probably in for a major continuation higher, because also like you can see on the global liquidity, like you can see on this chart right here, right? We create the high, now a little bit of a higher high, but we move down again here. And that is exactly what Bitcoin is doing as well in the range. We create a higher high, a little bit only, and now we're moving down here. And then we're going to be probably go in towards that expansion phase here. So super excited. Bitcoin is exactly copying. The liquidity is just insane on how precisely it has been repeating once again here. And of course, we do know global markets are printing, and ultimately this is going to be leading towards higher prices for Bitcoin. Then we got some big breaking news here. Yesterday we recorded the largest single day outflow on the spot Bitcoin ETF here, and then of course on the BlackRock ETF. They have not been selling for a very long time, but like you can see, we have right now recorded the largest single outflow today in one single day here. It's not necessarily so bad here in my opinion, but of course these things tend to be happening. But while this was happening, we still saw BlackRock actually buy Ethereum. So while they were selling Bitcoin, they were buying Ethereum. And of course, looking at the Bitcoin spot ETF here, we are still seeing massive continuations on the trend on the spot Bitcoin ETF here. And ultimately, it takes time here, and sometimes it's good to see a slight little sell-off, because ultimately that is part of the process. So yeah, we did saw a slight little sell-off, but of course, like you see in the last 2 weeks, we had major inflows already here. So that just happened on the spot Bitcoin ETF here. But really also, if we're going to be looking, of course, at the golden cross here, just like happened last time, we had a pump, we had a dump, we of course created a slight little higher low here, and then the major continuation started. And now exactly the same is playing out again for Bitcoin. We are creating, of course, that golden cross here. We then push higher. Then we see that correction. And of course, then probably we're going to be seeing only the push higher. But of course, only later we're going to be seeing the real push higher again here. So once again, it is just exactly the same here like last time around here. And it wouldn't be surprised something similar is going to be playing out here. But ultimately, we are seeing the global liquidity push much higher than this point right now here. So ultimately, it is a very bullish signal which we're currently getting. Further on, I want to be discussing some more important charts here, because right now Bitcoin is coming down back towards the EMA ribbons, and actually last few times while we had this major continuation towards the upside, we always bounced from the EMA ribbons, but the moment we flipped it was of course the point we went in towards a more bearish market, and that is the same approach I will be having right now here. As long as we're bouncing from it, it is going to be looking okay. But as soon as we do see the bearish crossover over there, and of course some stagnating price action after we created a peak here, it is ultimately going to be looking a little bit more bearish. But then currently I still have my trades running here. My ONDO trade is in a slight little loss right now here, but ultimately what I will be doing is accumulate more and more and more along the way down here. And I'm actually currently looking to open up even more trades on altcoins because the market is dipping right now, and I'm betting heavily on this continuation of the global liquidity right now. So if you are interested in trading, don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video. Because if you right now sign up an account using the highest link description of today's video, upon registration, you will already get a free $30 towards $100 rewarded towards your account. So it's extremely valuable. So don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, you can copy my exact ONDO trade or my Ethereum trade. And my Ethereum trade is right now coming very close towards my entry price here. We're already locking in some profits on the most recent rally towards the upside. But if you feel like copying this trade, don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video. It's definitely a banger of a trade in my opinion, because really where I'm looking at for Ethereum right now is another expansion phase here. I mean, we ultimately cleared most of the sell orders on the top side. And I mean, we're just still in this consolidation phase here. And really, if we are going to be having another try above this high here, most of the sell orders are already cleared. And we're probably just going to be flying absolutely through that level right now here. Then Ethereum also exactly bounced from the lows in the market. We're still creating an upper support line, horizontal resistance, ascending triangle is getting created after a major rally towards the upside. And really, where I'm looking at is this major top side of resistance. If we break it, we could be in for a massive rally towards the upside for Ethereum. So yes, very excited about what we're currently seeing. Also, if I'm looking at the Bitcoin dominance, I can't stress enough about it. We are at the end stage of the Bitcoin halving cycle. No one is really, of course, still expecting altcoin season. I don't think it's going to be an altcoin season like we had before. I think it's going to be a way worse altcoin season than 2021. Also way worse than 2017. And that is because less and less people are willing to take risk on it. But I do still think it is going to be happening. And it's always at that later stage of the cycle, just like you can see over here. Later stage of the cycle is where you see the biggest gains here. Also in 2017, in the last month before Bitcoin basically peaked, we saw the biggest gains on altcoins. So something similar is likely once again expected on the altcoin market. So this is it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from this video, don't forget to slap on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.